Volunteers are a very special type person. It, you have the will to go into a place where other people are running out of. It takes a very special person to be a volunteer fireman, a volunteer EMS, volunteer police department. A very special person. You have to have a huge heart to do it.
In 1986, that's how I started as a volunteer, actually in Baton Rouge with the Baton Rouge City Police Department. Did it for free, couldn't take the cut and pay due to the type of job I had prior to law enforcement, and really enjoyed it, got involved with it, and realized how much I really liked it. And we tried to work our reserves and hire from our reserves because we get to know them, see how they're working, get them acclimated to what we do. It's a very good program to have at any department as a reserve program because it does help to have the manpower. Every agency, I think, these days are stressed for manpower, and it does help with our manpower issues.
A lot of our full-time deputies came from our reserve pool. I mean, we like to hire them from there, but not only are they trained and they know what's going on, they know what we have to offer here, and they know what law enforcement's all about. In order to be a reserve deputy or a full-time deputy here, you can go on our website, which is lpso.org, can print out you an application and you fill it out. At the top you put on there reserve officer, or you can put on sheriff's deputy, either one, and you then turn that in. Once we get it, you'll have an interview process. They do a polygraph testing, they do some drug screen testing, psychological type testing, and once all that's done, they actually have to go through the academy and they have to make and pass firearm training, defensive tactics, physical fitness. I mean, once they graduate, then they graduate into what we call the FTO program, which is the Field Training Officer program, and then they'll go and train and put in so many hours, and once they pass that program, they actually go out and they'll get a unit, not issued to them, but a unit they'll be using and do the same thing the regular full-time officers do. They'll actually answer calls and make arrests and serve warrants and so all sorts of things just like the deputies do.
Usually the average citizen would not know the difference. They would do the same powers that we would have as a full-time officer. We try to shield them in a way to keep them from any heavy call that would burden them for civil or criminal court years later, because they might not be here a year or two from now. So we try to use them in a capacity that won't hinder a prosecution side of it at a later date.
Basically, the only difference is one gets paid and one doesn't. I mean, that's basically it. We even have them that work on River Patrol. We have them that actually work in the jail facility. They also work in our communications. Our
dive team is 100% volunteer dive team. Nobody on our dive team gets paid for any reason. Whether we be called out for a rescue, if we're called out for a recovery on either a person or a vehicle or weapons or what have you, none of them are paid for any of it, no matter how much time they put into it. I mean, we have a wonderful group of guys. They'll respond in a heartbeat. You have to be advanced open water certified to become a diver on our dive team. Then once you enter the dive team, you go through a lot of other training. You do your cave diving, you have to do rescue diving, you have to be certified for underwater photography, and there's a lot of training to it. I would encourage people to try out or to look to join any volunteer department, whether it be our fire department or police departments. I mean, we're always in need of help, even if it's just a neighborhood watch. It always helps us out.